Hello, it's Pickled Pandas, and today I'm doing the YouTube mom tag. So here we go. 30 questions in under 5 minutes is my goal. Number 1 was the last movie you saw that made you cry. Rogue One. And if you've seen it and got to the end, then you know exactly what made me cry. Question number 2, what's your favorite thing to do when you have a couple hours to yourself? I have no idea. Today's my first day having a couple hours to myself, and I'm pretty clueless outside of just actually getting the house super clean with no kids in the house. Number 3, what's your favorite breakfast food? Chicken and waffles. Oh my goodness, yes. And bacon, always bacon on everything, all the days. Number 4, what are the top 3 home repairs you would like to see done if money was no object? We rent our house. But if we were to own this house, because I love this house, roof redone, new plumbing, if money was no object, obviously, and the car park closed in and turned into another room. Another room. Because my laundry room is in the carport, and I hate that, and it just drives me kind of bonkers. So I'd love for that to be an actual room, plus the extra space. Okay, number 5, what is your favorite baby name that you've never used? We've used all the baby names we came up with. We actually had to come up with extra ones because we only came up with enough of names for 3 boys, and we have 5 boys. So I don't have an answer to that. Number 6, what's your favorite place to go shopping? Goodwill. Hands down, Goodwill. Number 7, what did you do before you became a mom? I was a waitress at a Chinese restaurant, and I was also a lab technician at UGA. So in the parasitology lab, to be more specific. Number 8, I think it's hobby, right? Yeah. Number 8, what is your favorite hobby? Sewing. And I hardly ever get to do it, but sewing. I love making clothing. It's fun. And other stuff, but mainly clothing. Number 9, if you could spend a day doing whatever you wanted to do, what would you do? I don't know, because I don't know what I like to do. I hate that question. Maybe go to Atlanta and eat some really good food with my husband and go to my favorite coffee shop. I sound really boring. I can't think of anything, so I don't know. And number 10, how did you meet your husband? Well, I worked with a friend of his at UGA in the bacteria lab, and we, New Year's Eve was coming around, and he's like, hey, me and my friends built a catapult. Do you want to come over for New Year's Eve, a bonfire party? And I was like, you built a catapult? Yeah, we built a catapult. It's like, okay, sure, I want to see this catapult. So that's how I met my husband, because him and the guy that I worked with built a catapult to light a bonfire for New Year's Eve, and yeah, I kind of liked him. So, it did take me like a whole month to start dating him, though, because reasons that would be too long for this video. Number 11, what was your favorite family vacation recently or when you were a kid? I want to do both because I feel like it'd be fun. When I was a kid, it was St. Augustine, because we would go to, like all the time we were going to St. Augustine, but we would actually drive down the coast a little bit further down, and there was this one beach that was like at least a foot deep, I think more, full of crushed shell. It was so cool. It wasn't sand yet. I mean, you had to dig a long way to get sand. Just crushed shell, and we would find shark's teeth all the time on this beach, and there was these big rock formations that you could walk through, and it was just the coolest beach ever. And then they dredged and completely ruined it, and it was nothing but sand after they dredged. So it sucked after that. But I remember that being cool. And recent would be camping just off of the Appalachian Trail with my family. That was super fun, because I'd never been tent camping before, so I loved it. Alright, number 12, name 3 things you do well. This is such a hard one. I don't know. I'm pretty good at thinking outside of the box, I would think. I would think. Writing. I used to be really good at writing. I haven't really done it much since like 10 years ago, so I don't know. I'm not going to make the 5-minute mark. I'm just going to, whatever. And I would have to say teaching, because I love teaching. So I hope I'm good at teaching. Number 13, name 3 toiletries or makeup products you couldn't live without. I don't wear makeup. I wear mascara, though. So I couldn't live without mascara, because I have blonde eyelashes, and I just don't look like I have any eyelashes unless I have mascara on. And then these aren't really toiletries or anything, but I would have to say jojoba oil because I'm obsessed with putting it on my face twice a day, and mineral salt because that's what I use for a deodorant. So I'm boring. Okay, number 14, moving along. Name your favorite thing about each of your children. I'm definitely going to have to be over 5 minutes just for this one question alone. Gee whiz. Okay, so for Azzy, my oldest, he's goofy, and he's always been such a goofball, and I love that about him. He can be distracting sometimes, but I love it. Han is super cuddly. He's my 5 going on 6-year-old. My 4-year-old is incredibly independent, but in such a silly way. It's like it's so funny. You would have to just know him. But his independence is really funny, I think, because he is limited as to what he can do, but he thinks that he can do everything. He's just so sure of himself, and I love that about him. So I guess it wouldn't be independence, but it'd be more confidence. My almost 2-year-old is mischievous, and he gets this grin that just gives it away all the time when he's thinking mischievous thoughts, and I just love that. It's not really a positive thing maybe, but it's a giveaway, so it's kind of positive because I always know when he's going to get into something or when he's thinking devious thoughts. And then my little baby, my 3-month-old, I just love that he's so smiley and happy all the time. It's refreshing some days. Number 15, what was your first job? My first job was working at an ice cream shop, and I literally worked there for 1 shift before they fired me because I didn't know how to do the job because I didn't have the 2 weeks training. It was pretty ridiculous. I mean, I was supposed to be having on-site training that day, and they just let me go after that day because they're like, you don't know how to run the ice cream machine, you don't know how to do this, you don't know how to use the cash register. It's like, no, I just came here. It was ridiculous. My mom was furious, quite rightly. 16, what are your hidden talents? I don't know. Apparently they're so hidden, even I don't know them. Number 17, bum, 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 bum. How long did you date your husband before you got engaged, I think? Yeah, engaged. 7 months before we got engaged, but 3 months in, we were already talking marriage and children's, like, kids' names and homeschooling and all kinds of things like that. So we were pretty serious around 3 months, but 7 months is when we got engaged. 18, 3 favorite TV shows, and I could only think of one. There are a lot that I like to watch. I can't think of the newest one that we're watching now, but Stranger Things, absolutely love that show. And then, sorry, I had to pause because I couldn't remember the name of the other show, The Get Down. So Stranger Things and The Get Down, we just started watching it. I really like it. Oh, and almost any superhero show, pretty sure. Mainly The Flash. The Arrow I'm kind of over. And, okay, so mainly The Flash. Jessica Jones was good. I need to stop. I could just go on about, yeah. Let's just leave it at Stranger Things and The Get Down. Number 19, yep, lost my list. Number 19, what is the bravest thing that you've ever done? And it's going to sound really lame because I haven't really done anything incredibly brave in my life, but it took a lot of guts to do this, and it was quitting work to be a stay-at-home mom. I initially had to quit my job because I worked in a parasitology department and I got pregnant while working there. So my husband and I were, you know, we were kind of trying to have a baby anyway, so we already knew that I was going to have to quit for a while because you cannot work in parasitology if you are pregnant because there's the risk of getting so many things that I worked with that could cause miscarriage. So I had to quit, but then I didn't go back. And we had already discussed me being a stay-at-home mom because we could do it, and it was going to make things tight, but it was kind of scary, and a lot of people were against us. Complete strangers were all the time like, how could, I mean, even people from different generations were pretty against it. It's like, how can you survive off of one income? Like, that's what people used to do. Really, number 20 was where were you 3 hours ago? I'm really good at reading questions. That is such a good talent of mine. Isn't it so obvious? 3 hours ago, I was loading the kids up in the car to go to my friend's house who's watching them for the day, and it's just so weird because the house is quiet. And this is crazy, and it's not because the kids are outside, it's because the kids aren't here, and I don't know what to do. Number 21 is, what is one thing on your winter, spring, summer, fall bucket list? I don't do bucket lists. I don't No. But one thing that I would love to do this year is to go camping. Multiple times. Tent camping. 22, do you meal plan? Yes. And what is your weekly staple? Weekly staple is something including rice or pasta. Because it's just simple to make, for a big family, to make a big pot of rice or a big pot of pasta to go with whatever. Or sometimes polenta, so we'll make a big thing of polenta. But more often than not, the kids will actually eat pasta or rice over the polenta, so that's what we'll make. We used to do Taco Tuesdays all the time. We've gotten away from that. I really miss Taco Tuesdays. And Waffle Wednesdays, so good. 23, I need to stop saying When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up? I wanted to be a fashion designer and a mom. And I'm a mom, and I make clothes sometimes, so total win. I got that down. 24, if you could, would you go 50 years in the past or 50 years in the future? I would definitely want to go 50 years in the past. Not so sure if I would want to actually live in the past, but visiting, I think, was the question, right? If you could travel. Yeah, it's traveling, so just passing through. 50 years in the past because the future could be scary. Oh, that came out weird. Okay, 25. What has been your best ever Halloween costume? What? I hope I can insert a picture. Minecraft. We did a family Minecraft one year, and I was Rosie, and it was so much fun. I loved it. Except for Eli. He decided that he was going to be Batman. He didn't want to be anybody from Minecraft, and that was okay. So he was Batman. We were all Minecraft. And then I think I had a baby. So I always have a baby. So the baby wasn't anything, so we don't dress up babies because that's just too much trouble. 26, night owl or early bird? Night owl. Definitely. 27. 27. If you're having guests over, I can't talk. If you're having guests over, what do you feed them? Burgers, brats, hot dogs. Usually when people come over, just because we're already a large family, we have the rule that you bring your own meat and a side to share, and we all kind of just like combine everything, and it works out really good. But generally, if you can cook it on the grill, that's what we have, because we grill out when we have company. Number 28 is less mess in the kitchen. 28, are you messy, neat, or somewhere in the middle? Somewhere in the middle, because I have 5 kids at home, and I know one of them's a baby, but he creates a lot of laundry, so he makes messes in his own way. But yeah, 5 kids is not going to be perfect unless we had nothing in the house. And there are days when I want nothing in the house just because I feel like it would be so much easier. And the kids don't really need all these toys. I've gotten rid of so many toys this year alone. And last year I got rid of so many toys. But then more come in somehow. It's just, oh, kids and their toys everywhere. But they do clean up. The older kids are really good at cleaning up. It's just the little ones, they're little tornadoes. 28! I'm almost done. I'm almost done. Like I said, under 15 minutes. Yeah, I've got this, under 15 minutes. Multiples of 5 is what we're going for. I already answered 28. 29. La la. What is one thing you desperately need to do but have been putting off? The attic. Ever since we moved here 4 years ago, the attic needs us to go through it. But we haven't gone through the attic. God, there's so many other things. We used to have a storage unit, went through all that stuff. We went through everything in the shed, but not the attic, no. Because that requires me and my husband, and me and my husband, when we're together, don't have time to go in the attic. Because we just don't. And the last one, number 30. It's not even a question, so I don't even have to really have this piece of paper. Actually, I do need paper because it has stuff written on it. It's name 5 YouTube moms you think everyone should be watching. So that is still requires me commenting on what I was thinking. I'm like, I'm done! Done with this. Done. Okay, let's just stop being crazy. Okay. My Little Smarty Pants, and I'll try to put it in the description box if I ever edit this video, which I don't know when I'll actually make time to do that. My Little Smarty Pants, Just So Trish, Crazy Busy Family Life, Purple Alphabet, and Fun Schooling, The Sensational 6. There, see my fancy little, this is what I wrote on because it was the first piece of paper that I found. Okay, So I'm ending it now because it's 15. Ah! Bye.